Being an early adopter kinda sucks. You end up paying a lot more money than people who are more sensible and patient. Well, for those who dare to wait, ASUS sponsored this video so we can take a look at the XG27AQDMG. Their new 26.5-inch, 1440p, 240Hz OLED gaming monitor. And it's the world's first glossy OLED panel. Let's get this sucker out of the box. I like how it's actually got a little handle here so you can pull it out with all the foam. Okay, maybe not. What's it stuck on? Ah! There we go. Might take a bit of strength. We want to flip this over. Oh, keep it all together. Yeah, see, all the accessories came out. I pulled it out the wrong way. What a dummy. But looks like we got our stand column portion, and then we've got our stand bottom portion. We have a mount for if we want to do any VESA mounting, it looks like. It's got a nice, simple column design where you throw it in and then you screw it down. Overall, not bad, not a big footprint. I don't exactly know what this is for, but it looks like it might fit my phone. It just barely fits. If you've got a case, be a little careful, but it should fit, just barely. Otherwise, we've got NVIDIA G-Sync badge here. It is G-Sync compatible, and it's got AMD FreeSync. And then we've also got a big Republic of Gamers badge. It's a little much in terms of branding for me, but it's not the worst. We've also got a big ROG on the back of the stand here. We've also got what looks like a 1/4-inch thread up top so that you can actually screw in a camera or whatever you want on top of here. Really handy for those of you who want to use a nicer camera mount when you're trying to stream or something like that. We got a barrel jack going to a reasonably sized power brick. It's actually pretty tiny, 120 watt. And then we've also got our bag of tricks that ASUS likes to include. I love this little carrying case that'll fit all of your cables. What do we got in here? Microfiber cloth. We've got an HDMI cable, and then USB 3, USB B to A, for those of you wondering. What else we got? We got some warranty manual stuff, stickers, if you like stickers like me. And then this looks like the rest of our power cable. It certainly is. We're gonna have to get a different one because this is a European plug and we are in Canada. So, what's this? They did happen to include a North America version. Thank you, ASUS. But now what we really care about, our panel. It's got some nice foam packaging. Where's our I/O? Down here, so that means it goes up this way. So we're gonna do the old click clack and pull it out. Ooh. You ready for this? Guys, I promise yours won't look like this. We got ours tested by the lab and it's kind of hard to put these back on nicely. So just, don't worry about it. We've got that nice column swivel on the stand. Pretty good amount of rotation. And then we've got some height adjustment. We got some tilt. It can pivot. We've also got some cable management routing right here. And then as for I/O, we've got our power plug here, headphone jack, couple of HDMI ports, only 2.0, DisplayPort 1.4 with DSC, USB-B, couple of USB-A ports, and last but not least, your favorite, a Kensington lock. We've also got our nice navigation nipple, or nubbin. I'm gonna start calling it a nubbin because I feel weird saying nipple. And then it's got, left button, right button, which is handily labeled power, key 1, key 2. I actually really like the design on the back of the monitor here. They've done this kind of like slash design before. This has got a new custom heat sink, nice and thin. Take care of your OLED panel. We'll talk about some OLED care stuff later on once we actually get it fired up and we can look through the OSD. So what are we waiting for? Let's turn it on. All right, looks pretty good, looks pretty clean. We've got to check out our OSD here. Display widget center is actually pretty cool. You'll get like some nice, in-computer information to change any of the monitor settings. Uniform brightness is a feature they've got for OLEDs. Basically, it'll turn your brightness down a little bit, but it makes sure that you don't get that weird adaptive brightness stuff that you see when you've got a big white screen all of a sudden comes up and then the brightness dims. So it should help with that. I don't know if it'll fully fix it, but it'll help. I'm gonna turn it off. Clear pixel edge is nice. It's funny how when QD-OLED came out, everyone talked about text fringing. Regular OLED has it too, and it's always been a problem. And clear pixel edge should help that a little bit by dealing with the green and red fringing that you might encounter. So we're gonna turn that on. What else we got? Display color space, sRGB, DCI-P3, wide gamut, color temp. This is actually very customizable. It's really nice being able to set color temp. You can do that on a lot of monitors, but not all of them. Same with your color space. You can't always set this manually yourself. Oh, there's Aura RGB. Where's the, oh, it's on the back. Rainbow. It's rainbowing. Just the ASUS logo. Screen protection, so you've got a screensaver that'll turn on automatically if you're inactive for a couple minutes. You can turn that on or off. Pixel cleaning, you can manually run a pixel cleaner that only takes about, actually 6 minutes, it's pretty quick. I'm not gonna run it right now, but you could. We've also got screen move. This is called pixel shift on a couple other monitors. Basically what it'll do is it'll adjust all the pixels slightly. You can notice it, I'm not gonna say you can't. It's very minor though, and I don't know, it like happens and then it's over. So it's, I don't know, I really don't think it's a big deal, but it's nice to have. And then the logo brightness. So if logos are on screen, it can adjust the brightness on those. The reality is, OLED these days is solid. With the new panel improvements and all of this protection that you have in stuff like OLED Care from ASUS, it just makes it so you don't have to worry about it so much. And if you're really that worried about it, check out some other channels coverage because they'll let you know that it's not that bad. So if you are worried about OLED flicker, ASUS has a fix for it during refresh rate fluctuations with 3 refresh rate ranges: strong, middle, or off. Let's game. Why am I talking to you still? I want to game. God, this looks good. Oh, and you know what? I'm telling you, 240 hertz, 1440p on an OLED that's getting, like, I think we measured 0.1 or 0.3 milliseconds response times. Latency wasn't too bad either. Like, I think theoretical perfect was only a half a millisecond off or something like that. It's just so good. It's something about this being crystal clear that like you flick and then the screen is cleared up. Like, I don't know, once you try it, it's hard because you guys are probably watching this on an IPS monitor or VA or something. And so you can't see how good the HDR looks, how good the colors look, how good the response times look. But the reality is it's so good. And if those response times aren't good enough for you, you can enable ELMB or extreme low motion blur. And that's basically BFI. And so you're going to probably get some reduction in brightness, but because of the black frame insertion, it's even more perfect. I'll be honest, I don't think that ELMB should be a huge selling feature for OLEDs. I don't think it really needs it, but if you really need it, it's got it. So we know a game's good, but does it HDR footage good? Oh, it's so bright. The funny thing is, every time we show this footage, the hand is gonna like reach in at some point and everyone's like, oh my God, I thought that hand was actually there because it looks so good. It's really color accurate. And when you have OLED pixels powering a display like this, they're just gonna turn on and off as you need them. So, oh, you want a dark spot? Boom, it's perfect black. Oh, you need this like pinprick of brightness? Boom, we're gonna do that. We'll boost a pixel or 2, or 12, you know, or 50. It looks good to my eyes. But how good is it really? Well, we sent it to the lab to get checked out to make sure that we don't unbox something that's just awful, and here's the results. In SDR, set to racing mode, we measured an average delta E of just 1.81 with a max of 3.63. That's pretty good, but what about HDR? Gaming HDR mode was surprisingly the most color accurate, and with our brightness turned down a touch, we measured a delta E ITP of 24.87 average with a max of 39.82. Turn the brightness to 100% and it gets slightly worse, so pick your poison. Now, on to our 2 kind of minor but real complaints. They advertise a 1300 nits peak brightness, but the best we could get with tweaking was more like 1250. Realistically, when we just measured out of the box, it was only 1200. So take that as you will. It's still really bright, 1200 nits is great. And then our other complaint was that they advertised 99% DCI-P3, but the most we could measure was 97.6. Still pretty close, but no cigar. But what about the price? Well, that's where I don't mind these tiny complaints of it, because this monitor is $750 US normally, and it's on sale on Amazon right now for $559. That's really good. I just want to say that OLED prices are finally coming down. Like, I get it, that's still expensive for a lot of people, but even just a few years ago, IPS gaming monitors with high refresh rates were also super expensive. And now we've got an OLED with these specs at like 700 bucks? That's wild. Give it another year or two, and we're probably gonna get into that like $500 range. I can't wait, because I love these things, and I like being an early adopter. Look where I work. I kind of have to be if I want to actually have any sort of relevancy when I'm talking about these monitors. But it comes with a price, and you know, a lot of you either don't want to pay that or simply can't afford it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because look what happens, you know, you wait like 2-3 years and all of a sudden, they just come down, and they're gonna keep coming down. And you know what's really wild? This thing went for as low as $550 on Black Friday. We're filming it on the Wednesday after. What do you guys think? Are you ready to shell out this kind of money for an OLED, or you just gonna rock the same monitor for another couple of years? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much, ASUS, for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.